All right, how you doing today, Jake?
Well, a little tired this morning, man. You know, I'm not used to staying up past midnight, and last night the show started at midnight, so late night for me, and I don't like those late nights anymore, and I know that. I wake up the next morning, man, I'm a little tired yet.
Yeah. The thing about cruise ships is you can't get off of them.
Yeah.
Once you get on them, you're kind of stuck.
Yeah, that's the only part I don't like about it,
Me
man.
too. I'm like, damn, I'm ready to get off this boat.
Captured.
Yeah.
You know, it's not that you even have to get off, it's just the fact that you can't.
Mm-hmm.
It's a mind screw, that's all.
I got off in the Bahamas. I was like, there's really nothing I want to see here.
Yeah.
And then I got to get right back on the boat, and then I'm just trapped in the middle of the ocean.
I didn't get off because I was afraid I wouldn't get back on.
Yeah.
I've been going to the airport.
So the Jericho Cruise, how you like it so far? What's your thoughts?
It's great, man. It's really great. It's really wild because a few years ago, when I started getting sober, I brought the idea to Diamond Dallas Page. What a great idea it would be to do a cruise like this. Of course, that was 8-9 years ago. And 3 or 4 years after I mentioned it, it happened for somebody else. And it's like, okay, that's cool. At least I know it works.
Yeah.
And I believed it would work at the time that I thought of it. And I'm still thinking about it. Mm-hmm. And there might be a snake tour coming up. I don't know. I don't know what's in the works.
It seems like a good moneymaker.
It's a good moneymaker, but more importantly, it's letting people get to know the stars or the athletes or the talent or whatever you want to call it. And I think that's really important, man. Fans, for me, are so incredible. I mean, they will lay it on the line for you. Mm-hmm. You know they raised money for me to get my shoulder fixed, man, and I couldn't believe that. And the thing about fans is, if they do love you, they love you unconditionally.
True.
And it's so amazing. And to get the opportunity to meet some of them and shake hands and hang out or play cards with or whatever, it's a good thing, man. It's a feel-good moment for me.
That's cool.
I know there was a lady that was supposed to be on this tour, on this trip, and she wound up staying at home so she could give up a kidney to save somebody's life. And she didn't even know the person.
Yeah.
When she heard the person needed what she had, and she blew off the cruise, man, to do that and save the woman's life. And that's so amazing.
It really is. The last interview I did one with Tank Abbott. I don't know if you're familiar with him, former UFC guy, WCW guy. And he ended up having to have a kidney transplant, liver transplant, had 5 strokes, died on the table. And that brought up the part of being an organ donor again, because I'm not a donor. I told him the reason why is because I think the EMTs aren't going to take care of me. Say I get in a car wreck and they say I'm a donor and they're going to go ahead and harvest my organs.
Ah, I got you.
But hell, maybe I need to, because this is the second story in a row.
Yeah.
And I just got my ID the other day, and I was thinking about the organ donor. I was like, I don't really know, but you bring up the part. I mean, the lady didn't even know who the hell this person was.
Oh, she didn't.
And she's going to go ahead and give up that kidney for
and push her trip off to the side, which was amazing because, I mean, come on, we're selfish when it comes right down to it. Human beings are just selfish. And to give up an organ for somebody you don't even know.
For a trip you done paid for.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what I would have looked at. Like.
And, I talked to Jericho about it, and he assured me that the next time there's a trip out, that lady's going to be on it.
That's awesome.
So that's awesome.
And you talk about the fans. The first day we was here, I walked on the pool deck, and there you were with your shirt off. Sitting out. It's like, damn, Jake Roberts just sitting out here hanging out with the fans.
Why not, man?
Right off the rip.
Why not, man?
Do you have any advice for the young guys getting into the business today? What do you think the most important thing they need to know?
Well, that's a good one. And I don't know that many people listen to an old fart like me.
No, they do.
But the most important thing, if you're thinking about getting into wrestling, is finding a properly ran, managed school. with someone that has been to the big dance. You know, you don't want to learn from some guy that's never been there. Find the right guy to train you. I would love to teach. It really makes me sick that Vince McMahon has not called me to teach.
You make a hell of an agent.
AEW. I would love to do something there. But I'm afraid the reason is because I'm not old school. I'm from the school that burnt down before they built the old school. I'm stuck in my ways, man. Maybe it is time for me to shut up and sit down and get away. But I believe that what I teach still works.
Exactly.
I know it will. And these guys that keep going out there and giving everything they have, you know, hats off to you for doing it. But as far as I'm concerned, you're complete friggin' idiots.
Yeah.
You're wasting so much. You could have a much better match if you do much less.
Like, why kick somebody 3 times when you can just kick them once?
Selling.
Yes.
Selling. You know, that's what gets a guy over. That's what endears you to a fan. Because here's the thing, guys. A fan wants to believe that when they're sitting at ringside and they start cheering you on, that they're part of the reason you were able to get up. But if you never give them that opportunity, they don't get that. They don't get it, and they don't embrace you like they could. My fear is for these young guys, their careers are going to be over before they're 30 years old.
All the flips, dives to the outside. The one thing that kind of pisses me off, you got the 20 guys on the outside waiting to catch the guy. And it takes 5 minutes for the guy to jump off. And
it's ridiculous, and I don't like it, but I'm just an old fart. So there we go.
Well, I've always thought, I'm like, why the hell isn't anybody using your brain?
I don't know.
You, Raven, both excellent wrestling minds. I mean, why the hell not? It would make perfect sense to me.
Maybe they will someday, man.
Someday, man. So now let's kind of go into some stories, because I know you got some stories. Andre the Giant, I saw a video you telling the people that they were throwing beer cans and Andre in a bar, and he went and flipped the car over.
Yeah.
That was one story I heard. You got any other Andre drinking stories?
Well, you know, he wasn't trying to show off or anything, man. He was just there, you know. One time, Andre had wrestled for a company in West Texas that was owned by Dick Murdoch and Black Jack Mulligan. Both huge men. And they were angry with Andre because Andre demanded a larger take in the purse, which had been agreed upon before the show started. But now the show's over, they didn't want to pay up.
Of course.
So they decided they were going to attack Andre.
No, that's a brilliant idea.
And they did, in the bar. And Andre made short work of it and threw them both out of the bar through separate plate glass windows. They were knocked out. He hailed a cab and picked him up by the back of her pants and stuck him in the trunk of the car. Got in the car and they went to the hospital. He got out, took them out one by one, carried them inside, said, "Fix them. When they wake up, bring back the bar. I'm waiting."
It's very nice of him to do that. A French gentleman.
Yeah.
Did you ever cross paths with Road Warrior Hawk, Eddie?
Oh, yeah. We were great friends.
Because I kind of like to get more stories about him, because, I mean, he was one of my favorites, and it seemed that right when he started to turn his life around, then he had the heart attack and everything. I was like, that's a damn shame that he's not going to be able to tell his story.
No.
So one thing I kind of want to do is get stories, you know, about Road Warrior Hawk from different people.
Well, we lived together for a period of time, you know, in Georgia Championship Wrestling. I took over the booking there when they had first started, and they were being misused and abused by Buzz and Brett Sawyer. How in the hell those two guys were beating the Road Warriors? Give me a friggin' break.
Doesn't make sense.
You know, and in fact, I lived with both of them at different times, Animal and Hawk. And one time when I was living with Animal, Rick Rude came down to visit and stayed with us at our house and wound up getting his ass kicked in a bar that was right down the road. And came back there and butt all over our furniture and ruined all that.
It's nice of him to do
So I sent him out the door, and he went on to Memphis to really break through. Then Animal had another buddy of his that was getting ready to get married, I guess, back in Minnesota, and he caught his soon-to-be wife sleeping with his best man. Kind of ruined that. And the guy kind of flipped out over it, which I can imagine that,
Yeah,
how that would affect you.
Yeah, that'd piss you off a little
But he wound up coming to stay with us, and he was just a total jackass at the time, and I wanted to get him out of there. Well, the guy had never wrestled in his life. I hadn't even thought about it. But I was talking to Jimmy Crockett, and I was the booker at the time in Georgia Championship Wrestling, and they were looking for some monster type, Road Warrior look type, to put it into the position with Ivan Koloff. I said, I got the guy for you. Even though he'd never wrestled, I didn't give a shit if he made it or not. I just wanted him out of my fucking house. And I sent him over there, and look, he got a break. And wound up making a lot of money in this business. Nikita Koloff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ivan Koloff's a hell of a guy.
Yeah, he was.
I used to run wrestling shows back in the day, so I called everybody and see what their rates were.
Yeah.
And hell, he spent probably 30 minutes just talking to me about his grandkids and how he was taking them to the fair. And I was like, damn, I just called Ivan to get a quote. Yeah. Now I'm getting a 30-minute damn talk here. I'm trying to get off the phone. He's
sweet man.
Still talking to me, and he don't have any idea who the hell I am. I mean, I'm just some guy on the telephone, right?
He's a sweet man, bro. Yeah, it's kind of funny in wrestling. You got the good guys and the bad guys. My experience has been the good guys are assholes, and the bad guys are the guys that will talk to you all day long and help you out. Yeah. It's really crazy.
Yeah. Roddy Piper. Any stories about Roddy?
Not really.
Not really?
Roddy and I were, we came from the same cloth, man, and that's a tough one for me, man.
Okay.
Just a tough one.
So how's your sobriety going?
Excellent.
Still sober?
Yeah.
How long have you been sober now?
Over 8 years.
Damn.
Yeah, over 8 years.
That's pretty good then. Because I thought you hadn't been sober that long. And I was wondering how difficult it would be, like if you're on a cruise ship where you got all these drunkards around you.
That doesn't bother me at all, man.
But then when you look at all the drunk people when you're sober, you're like, well, damn.
I'm glad I'm not that.
Exactly.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me at all, man. I take pride in my sobriety, and it's something that I've endeared to my heart. And I just assume break a leg is to have a drink. I'd rather you break my leg than if I get a choice. You have to have a drink or break a leg. Break my leg.
That's great, man.
I just don't want it back in my body because I know what it does to my mind.
True.
And one sip, the thought of it makes me want to throw up.
And that's a good point to bring up about the mind, because I mean, not only does it affect you physically, but it fucks with your mind.
Oh yeah.
You get depressed, you get anxious, you get all kinds of thoughts running through your head.
Man.
That's a very good point. You got a book coming out, which I think is pretty cool. 500 pages
so far. Yeah, a couple months. We should have it out there.
Okay.
I'm doing it all myself, so please be patient. Other than that, man, I got some movies coming up.
Awesome.
And I'm going to do another couple comedy tours, and we'll see what other doors open, man.
So with the book, do you think it's going to be like a two-part series?
Yeah.
Well, way more than one, because Jericho has, what, 3?
Yeah.
So if Jericho has 3, you got to have at least 3.
I don't know what I'm going to have, brother. I just kind of let whatever happens, happens, I mean, I thought it was crazy that I had that many pages for the period of time that I was talking, but I reread it 2 or 3 times, and I'm like, I can't cut any of that out.
Yeah.
So I said, screw it, I'm not going to.
I mean,
it wasn't my plan to have 2 books. My plan was to have 1.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you just start speaking and telling them stories, and you got paid. Boogie Woogie Man Jimmy Valiant, I bought his book. It goes through his whole career. I'm only up to the 60s so far.
Yeah.
I still got, he's 70-something years old now.
Yeah. Sure is, brother.
So that's cool. So guys, Jake's got the book coming out. You got the comedy tours going around. Going to be doing some other stuff. Jake, I really thank you for the interview. It's awesome of you to take your time, man.
No problem, bro.
Subscribe to the channel. Follow Jake on all his stuff. See you later, guys.
See you soon.
All right. Thank you, man. That was cool.
Here, I'll let you undo that.
I was kind of nervous before this interview. You kind of set me at ease, man.